Okay, in this example, we want to determine the outward flux of the given vector field over a closed cylindrical tin can that's centered at the origin with height 3 and radius 1. So we can apply the divergence theorem here. One, the components of our vector field are continuous. They're just made up of all continuous functions, so the partial derivatives are continuous. Two, we have a closed tin can, so our solid is closed. And we want the outward flux, so we're going to think that we're going to use outward pointing normals. And so the divergence theorem says the following. It says that the flux over the surface, right, which we can express as the dot product of the vector field times the normal per over each area component, that this is equal to the net divergence over the solid. So it's most likely going to be easier to compute this triple integral than it is to use the surface integral that we have. Part of the reason for that is because for our surface integral, we would have to parameterize the cylinder as well as the top and the bottom parts of the surface. So we're going to find the right-hand side of the divergence theorem and just integrate our solid, integrate the divergence of the vector field over the solid. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find the divergence of our vector field. So the divergence of the vector field can be calculated by doing the dot product of the del operator with our vector field, which means that we are taking partial derivatives of each component with respect to x, y, and z respectively. So if we look at our vector field, the partial derivative of the first component with respect to x is just 0 because every term just has a y and a z. Our second component, partial with respect to y, is 1. And for the third component, the partial with respect to z will be a 2z minus 1. And so this just gives us 2z for our divergence. Now, to set up our triple integral, so let's do that next, we can use cylindrical coordinates because we have a cylinder, which is symmetric about the z-axis. So we know that we want z, the height of the cylinder, to be 3, so we can let z go from 0 to 3. And then we need r and theta. So r, the radius of the cylinder, is 1, so we'll let r vary from 0 to 1. And we want to go all the way around, so we'll let theta go from 0 to 2 pi. And the last thing that we need to do is think about whether we need to convert our integrand into cylindrical coordinates, but since it's in terms of z, it's already in terms of cylindrical coordinates. So we're going to set up our triple integral, and we've got that the outward flux will be the triple integral over our solid, our cylinder, of 2z dv. And since we're using cylindrical coordinates, we can set the outside integral to be our integral with respect to theta from 0 to 2 pi, our middle integral to be our integral with respect to r from 0 to 1, and our innermost integral with respect to z. I don't know why I wrote from 0 to 0 here, but it should be from 0 to 3, the height. So from 0 to 3 of 2z dv, but dv here will be r dz dr d theta because we're using cylindrical coordinates. So let's go ahead and work on the innermost integral with respect to z. And for that, we can factor out the r, and we have integral from 0 to 3 of 2, we could factor out a 2r, but I'll just do 2z dz, and antiderivative of 2z will just be z squared. So we have r z squared, where z is from 0 to 3, and this is going to give us a 9r. Okay, let's do our middle integral. And this is an integral with respect to r from 0 to 1 of 9r dr. And so this will be 9r squared over 2. from 0 to 1, which will just give us a 9/2. And finally, for our outer integral, we have 9/2 on the outside, integral from 0 to 2 pi of d theta. So this will be 9/2 times 2 pi, which will just give us an outward flux of 9 pi. And so just to recap, we were able to integrate to find the outward flux. Instead of doing the surface integral for flux, we worked on the triple integral of the divergence over the volume of the solid.